Hello everyone and welcome to this walkthrough of the Rising Gloomrot update. So in this series we're going to run through the Gloomrot update and see what's new and do a complete playthrough. The entire game in PvE, locally hosted, so it's not going to be on a server. It's not going to contain any PvP elements because no one else will be playing with me. This will be single player. This will give you a good idea of what the gameplay will be like and what a lot of the bosses entail and how to defeat each one of them. So what I'm going to do is just go through and pick a character. One thing I just wanted to point out with this is you can change things like color, and then you can lock it in and then randomize based on that. If you like a particular face, or if you want specific colors, but you don't care about the hairstyle or anything like that, then you can go ahead and just randomize these features and get a wide variety of things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to finish up this customization and we'll come back whenever we are in the game. One thing I wanted to point out is whenever you're done, make sure you name your character. You can also randomize that if you wanted to. Make sure you hit create, which is the one furthest away, not the closest one. So here we are in the starting area. Two things you're going to need a lot of is bones and stone to get started. So I would definitely recommend you grab as much of that as possible. If you are playing single player, you do get the benefit of starting off at an ideal time. I can't get to that for some reason. So you don't have to rush through this area, but if you are on a server, you want to check the time, see what time of day it is. And if you're not like approaching nighttime or like just starting nighttime, you definitely want to rush through this to make it out of this area by the nightfall. Or at least before nightfall is done. Depending on where you want to start your base, you might have to spend some time in an area before you actually make it to your base location. And we'll get to that here in a second. I'm just going to run through here. So what we want to do is we want to complete these little quests before we exit. At least get to the point where we're actually crafting gear. We don't really need wood or fiber at this point in time. We will get plenty of that out in the open world. So we're now just starting nighttime, so we have quite a bit of game time to actually go through and do this. So you get a lot of stone. I recommend just killing the mobs and looting the chests. Let's see. Grab this. So we did complete this quest. You want to go through all these. So you want to craft a sword. While it's crafting, you can also continue to farm up stuff. As you can find some bones in here. Okay, we got our sword. We're going to kill the mobs to complete this particular one. You do get some magic spells to start off with too, but you'll get to that point in the quest part of it. To craft a ring next. There's plenty of mobs in here, so you can farm up quite a bit of bone. But what you need bone for, mostly, is to create a safe spot. And bone acts like a fuel source for the brazier that you make. Which is like a way to produce shadows, so you're not getting hit by the sun. Alright, so we have our ring. We need to use our magic spell. There we go. next part we have to go out and complete. So it's crafting all the pieces. We can probably craft 2 of them right now. But these require rugged hide, which you can only get by the animals. Rats don't give you anything. Only pick those up. So I'm going to grab these 2 coffins. And then we'll head out into the open world. We have plenty of time. What was that? It's a bone helm? That's just a skull? Oh, look at that. Bone guard mask. I've never seen it before. I can't really see my character. There we go. Okay. Yeah, honestly, your appearance doesn't matter too much. You can hide stuff like that, and like hide the... Or just remove the helmet, really. You don't need anything in your helmet slot. But your character is going to be so far away, unless you're like playing really zoomed in. So appearance doesn't really matter too much. You're going to be in this view most of the time. Okay, so we need to go out through here. Grab some more bone, then we'll head out to the open world. Start killing some stuff. So you should be, your gear should be at level 8. This game does a pretty good job at explaining things. The tutorial area, and then, you know, going through these quests, you get a lot of information about how to do things. So let's go to the Fairbane Woods. You can start off on the, you know, the west side or the east side. It depends on where you want to build at. You're going to be limited to Fairbane area. I mean, you can go, you know, anywhere you want, really. But you're going to want to start off in at least the Fairbane area. And they've added a lot more places to build, so we'll see that in a second. But you can really build just about anywhere you want. It's more limited in a sense that you used to be able to put your castle heart anywhere you want, but they did add more spots to build at. Because before you could put your castle heart down somewhere, and you could like just, you know, take over highways and stuff, and it wasn't really beneficial for you to have your base there, especially in PvE. I'm getting attacked here. Oop, I probably should have grabbed that. So that feed thing lets me get a blood type. Let's see, this creature level 9, so that's good. Go. So we hold down or hit E, and you can feed on the creature. And if you hit left mouse button, it'll just instantly kill it. But we now have a blood type, and the blood type gives us bonuses. As you can see, you mouse over the little blood ball here, and it shows you what bonuses you get depending on how good of the quality it is. And so, like, one we got was 9%, which obviously isn't the greatest, but we're just starting off, so it's not too bad. If you did run through the area here, and you just get a bunch of stuff, and you need some more bones, you can go out here. There's like little mini graveyards you can get into, and pick up some stuff, some more bones. What we're looking for, though, is actually the wolves, which we can find quite a few places. I see something fighting over there. So we're gonna go up here. There's some more hide. Nice. There's a wolf. Oh, I was trying to predict his movements. These guys are very low level. Level 10. Yeah, so you see the little E option, feed. You can feed on it, and then you can just do an attack. Click, left click, and then you are able to instantly kill it. That works for everything, really, except for the bosses. You have to hold down E on bosses to absorb their powers, which we will see very soon. So we still have plenty of time. It's kind of halfway through the night. But I really need this hide. And we get some heart too. And we need more blood as well. You definitely want to kill a lot of stuff, especially animals and humans. That's a 10. Grab that one. Draining the blood doesn't really limit your loot. You still get loot from this thing. So don't worry about missing out on loot. You can just drain anything you want, really. There's some more wolves. Let's finish crafting this stuff. We need these two things. Make a couple of vermin salve, even though it's going to use up my blood or my bones. So it auto-equips our items that we're crafting, which is nice, so we get bonuses. Let's see. 5% and 4%. I always want to be on the lookout for better blood types. So we get the bone axe now. These are all starter weapons, so we'll get the bone axe. Just let me get rid of all this stuff off the hotbar. Because it's going to put it on my hotbar here. I'd like to put this in 3. We chop down 3 trees. Look at the map again. I like to build pretty close to the mines. The mines are this area right here. You see like these little layers. That's the mines. So like here's good, here's good. These places are good. I think this place right here is pretty good too. But I think there's some monsters that typically spawn in here. But I'll see if anything's spawning in there. A lot of this stuff is kind of random. So some of the monsters are random where they're spawning at. But once you claim an area, it's pretty unlikely something else will spawn there. So if you've played this in the past, they changed the way the territories work and where you claim stuff. So like I was explaining before I had to pause, the new territory system, if we hover over an area that we've passed by, you see these little white outlines here? These mean you can build. And this, what this does is it claims your territory for you. So you claim this whole area once you put a castle heart in these areas. So they did fix some of the like the building aspects to it. So you actually have more buildable areas in the map as a whole. But the amount of, you know, how you can build and where you can put your castle hearts down is now limited. Which is not a big deal. I think the system now is much nicer. Especially to have sustainable building areas. Because before you could put a castle heart down and it made it really hard to compete in PvP. Because people would get the best spots and really build up and defend those spots. So I think balancing it out to where you can't really block off places is also kind of nice. Because these are fixed maps, and so they definitely limit what you can get. Okay, I need to make a mace. You guys are, yeah, 16. Okay, that's not bad. You don't have a lot of skills early on. You get more, once we get to the copper tier, we'll get more skills for our weapons, which makes it a little bit easier. Alright, daytime. Not a big deal. Just stay in the shade. Stay in the shadows and you should be fine. And we have to cross a bridge here, which is going to be a little bit of pain, but I'd probably wait for a... I don't think I can block... we could just run across here. If you get hit by the sun, the damage is... it increases over time, so you don't want to stay in the sun too long, but you can take a couple of hits. It's not an instant death. Okay, so this is a boss right here. Yeah, we don't really want to mess with him. I'm going the wrong way. I should be going north. Follow our little point here. Oh, I guess I'm going the right way. Yeah. So here's a wolf den. This is usually where one of the alpha wolves spawn, which is the first guy wolf to track. What I'm going to do is run through here. This little cave-looking thing is a place where you can exit from the underground portals. Those are fixed points. So we can go to one part of the map and enter into a cave and then exit out of this point right here. Which is a little ways away. We're not really at that point yet. Dodge these guys. I don't really want to fight anything right now because the shade is not really guaranteed at this point. But I'm kind of stuck here. Okay, got a nice little spot here we can stick into. Oop. It's an 83%. Come over here. Yeah, get him in the shade, and we can get that 83%. So that's going to give us a big bonus to our blood. As you can see, the blood becomes more pure. And if we hover over it, we see we have damage reduction, increased stun resistance rating, movement speed, really nice bonuses. Really nice bonuses. So with this blood, we can actually fight the first boss with all these bonuses that we get. Especially the damage reduction is really nice. I don't want to spend too much time. These guys are pretty hard to kill early on. Kind of messed that up. Yeah, I'm just going to kill him and then run away. I think we're right here. Like this spot, like I said before, it's really nice to have the mines really close by. That's the biggest source of copper. But some of the balancing they did, if you played before, these copper nodes were really focused heavily in the mines. So it made it really tough to get in and out for PvP. And it made it a little pain if you wanted to build anywhere else outside of the mines. They did add a lot more copper nodes, it seems, into the world. So that is helpful, but I still like this area. One bonus to this area is you have a really good place to farm up recipes and other items and drops. Because you have you have the Forgotten Cemetery here, and then you also have this area right here, the Bandit copper mines. Then you have a couple of areas nearby where you can farm up drops that are specific to cities and people. So we took some damage, and using your magic and taking damage will reduce the amount of blood you have as you heal up and stuff. So if you have a really good blood, you want to kind of like save it or preserve it if you're going to be using it for a boss fight. So reducing the amount of damage or the amount of magic you use is usually beneficial. These guys are actually pretty hard to kill right now. This is the spot I wanted to build in. There is one of these spider guys. I think there's another spider over here, typically. So what I will need to do is kind of wait for the sun to go down here in a little bit, and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and we are at nighttime now. What we need to do is actually finish this quest. It's going to give us the next part, which is going to be to build the castle heart. So I'm going to build here still, even though there's a mob we can't quite kill just yet. And let's complete this. Just try to avoid him. He's not very high level. I think he's like in the 20s. But once we get enough items, we can actually start to take him on pretty quickly. Alright. Grab this, can I grab this? There it goes. I'm going to use the swords for harvesting herbs and stuff. The mace is for stone, and then the axe is for wood. Okay, so let's go into build mode, which is B by default. I want to place our castle heart down. And as you can see, this whole like area now is ours. It's our territory. So let's continue building here. Okay, what we have to do now is add some blood. And we should have completed this. Yeah, so there we go. So we have to build the structures now. Which, let's go into build mode here. Let's build a coffin. And we need some more stone. Okay. So we can get some more stone. We can't break these just yet. We need to have a better mace. I don't think we can break that. Yeah, we need to have a better mace for these things. So we'll go find some stone. Really just farming up some materials to finish this particular part of it. We're gonna need a lot of wood, some stone, more blood most likely. Okay, I think we should have enough. Let's grab some more stone. I want to get this brazier done before the sun comes up. Oh, we did get a crossbow. A drop. It's a nice crossbow. That's actually a really good one. If I use this, are we able to kill this guy now? Nah, he's still pretty high. Problem with these guys, they do so much damage and they spawn mobs. Oh, and they also freeze you. This the crossbows used to be really bad back in the day. Especially if you had, you know, just really good magic, you could kind of bypass the ranged weapons. They did make it a little bit easier. Nothing really good. Yeah, even though he's a skull, he's really close to my level. I think he was in the 20s, early 20s. So it's not hard to beat mobs that are still, you know, considered a skull. I think that skull means it's over maybe 10 levels higher than what you are now. So one of the things they changed was, instead of having to have like a specific area you have to build on, you can now build some things like anywhere really. Like you don't have to have a specific area claim. So like the brazier can be anywhere in your territory. It's not really tied to a floor type. Some things are though. I think mostly the crafting stuff is. We have our brazier and we have our storage. You can hit Q. It tells you right here along this line you can rotate. Hit Q and then you can be. Put it right here for now. You can move stuff, so you just right click and you can move stuff around that you've already built. You can also dismantle stuff. By default, I think it's 100% refund, but yeah, I think it's 100% refund at this point with default settings. Sometimes it's you know reduced, like it's 75% refund at a harder setting. So we have a place to put our stuff at now. Really, all the stuff in here until we can actually craft the next step. I need 3 palisades, so I actually need some wood and stone. The palisades are under walls. What else do we need? Oh, it's wood and fiber. Okay. so let's grab these. I think we're still missing some wood probably. Break these bigger trees. It's not a huge deal right now because you get the brazier. But if you didn't have a brazier down yet, you definitely want to keep the trees up around your base. This flooring, all this flooring really does, there's bonuses to some flooring once you start building your actual castle. But what this flooring does is it prevents anything from regrowing in this particular square. So this stuff right here will still regrow, but this stuff in the square where I'm building at, this will not regrow. Because I did put a flooring down. We should have some... Yeah, I'm going to split this. Give it some... the mist brazier, turn it on, or it's already on by default. You can turn it off though, which pauses the timer. I think you have like one lasts for 1 minute, so you have 146 minutes of time there, which you don't need it at nighttime obviously, but you will need it during daytime. Okay, so let's finish building these palisades. Doesn't really matter where you put them because people want to just, I guess it does if you're doing PvP, but if you are just building in PvE, you don't need palisades. You can actually just destroy these once you build them. So if you hover over these and just hold down space, you can dismantle them. You still get the quests completed. Make sure you actually complete that quest though before you do that. Alright, so we got our stuff back. So we do have these new tabs unlocked, crafting. So we have to build a sawmill first, which requires more wood. So yeah, just a little bit of farming to get these things up. You definitely want to use the axes on the trees. You get more wood from them. Actually, a wood cutting axe you can get later on that gives you even more wood per tree. So it's daytime now, so the sun's out. We destroyed a lot of these trees here, but as you can see, this area around our base is dark. That's from the mist brazier. It makes this area dark. I'm glad they added that quest to build this, because before there wasn't a quest to build this, and you really were kind of stuck if you didn't know that this thing existed. Because you would have to go hide for like the first few days, really, which made it really hard to progress early on until you found out that this thing actually exists and you can build it and use it. So we need a sawmill and a workbench. Build one of these now. You have to access this from a certain direction, so you definitely want to put that in the right, facing the right way, because you can't really access it from behind. This is all things too. It's not just the sawmill, the workbench, everything. You want to make sure you face it the correct way. Let me just throw some wood in there. We really don't need wood very much. Like once you unlock stuff like this, you might need it to make the chests, but you can safely add this into here to convert to planks. Right now, it's not very an efficient conversion rate, but eventually you get to these bonuses for your items that you can increase the efficiency of them. So for the sawmill, it tells you up here, if it's in a confined room, it gets 25% speed bonus. So this time it takes is decreased. And if you have a matching floor, the cost of it is decreased by 25%. So right now it takes 20. That would be 15 instead of 20 if you get the actual floor bonus. And if you hover over it, you can see it says the matching floor bonus kind of in the middle of the screen at the top. And it tells you the type of floor you need is workshop flooring. Of course, you can like rename this if you want to rename it. Like, I mean, there's not really much you can do with these other than like later on you can start having one that does specific, you know, reinforced plank conversion, and one that does plank conversion if you want to do that. think you can rename everything. Maybe not these. I know the chests for sure. You can change these to like plants or whatever. And then when you are out and about, you can just hover over it and or get near it and see plants, or hover over it from far away and it'll show you the top that this is the plants chest. So that's a very handy thing to have if you're wanting to organize. Alright, so we need the workbench next. We should have enough lumber. Okay, we got our planks. Let's drop this down here. Make sure it's facing the right way. I think I can still walk around. Yeah, I can walk around this still. Alright, so we have our method of crafting our gear, which is the next thing. So we just need to go ahead and craft all these pieces as upgrades, which requires more rugged hide, and then like our original piece here. So take our old gear and upgrade it. Grab all these. And that should put us at the next step. We can make a blood rose ring as well. I think we need a blood rose ring now. Actually, I can bypass that by just doing that. So if you did find a weapon, you can just equip it, and it gives you it's a level 6 weapon versus a level 3 weapon. It's not really like the right way to do it. You should probably go get some blood rose and convert your ring. But if you did happen to get a weapon while fighting something, you can use that to bypass this quest. Okay, so now we have the tracking feature, which they moved it from an actual item that you had to use into this new K button. So I kind of like this because it tells you your current gear score, and it shows you like the different levels of mobs that you'll encounter and like what the colors mean. And it also gives you like an outline of what to do next. So you can see these are all the mobs that you have to kill eventually up to level 80. So we go hit K, we can track this guy. This is the Alpha Wolf. We can track him. There's actually quite a few. And as we track him, we can see, tracking the blood of the Alpha Wolf, distance is close, which means we're actually really close to it. It'll say like, you know, very far away if it was like across the map. But we are pretty close. I think we should be good. We should be good to kill him. Use this crossbow. The rate of fire on the crossbow is pretty nice now. Sometimes, if you get lucky, you can find that the wolf is attacking something else, like attacking like people that are walking by. He's not. Is he in here? Wait, what? So you follow this trail of blood. It kind of points you in the right direction. Must be on the other side of this. This is the mines. I know he's not in the mines. I'm going to fight some people here. That's a 48 rogue. That's not bad. Maybe we can actually get them to fight each other. Definitely you can use other mobs to fight, or different factions to fight each other. So like animals are a different faction than the humans. And then there's the undead faction as well. Oh, he should be in here. This is like yeah, right there. So, here's the wolf. Very easy boss. It's a very good intro boss. You just have to dodge some of his attacks. Oop. He's doing quite a bit of damage to him. Okay, when he's that red enraged feature there, it means he hits really hard. You can probably like block him. I think he summons wolves? Yeah, he does. Okay. Most bosses have 2 phases. As you can see, he's like exhausted now. Alright, so we get some blood orbs. These health orbs are new-ish. I don't know how new they are. Newer since I played it last, so newer since probably like last September. But it does make it a little bit easier. I think all bosses have that now. It's all the ones I've encountered. Just kill that guy. Okay, so now he's stunned, or he's just exhausted. Oh, I thought I killed him. Okay, we got fighting other mobs here. That's good. Good timing there, guys. Just go ahead and. One of these guys actually had a pretty good blood, right? This is the same group that we just saw. Yeah, he had 48 rogue. The rogue's actually pretty good. I'm gonna grab him. You have a limited time to actually get this guy. So you hold E, and just to start the effect, and then now you can let go of E. But you extract the blood, and you get an ability, or multiple abilities sometimes. You also get unlock stuff, and he also explodes and gives you some resources that were around him. So that's kind of nice and helpful. Okay, so we completed this quest, and we also got a new ability. So we have this new skill book here, J. And it tells you the abilities. These are all the bows we had already. There's a new slot that you can equip gems with, which we'll get into that a little bit later. But the top tab here, you get this VBlood. So now you can see we get wolf form. This is the ability we unlocked. Which is, I think this is the K? This K? Yeah, so K does the same thing. It shows you the ability you unlocked. Alright, so in order to access this ability, you hold control, and it gives you these options. And this is the new ability we got, is wolf form. It's so great they gave you a speed ability this early on. Also do a jump now, the ghost wolf jump. But yeah, that's this first part here. You get the first VBlood, you complete that quest, and that's really the basics of the game. Now you get to more advanced stuff, like researching and all that stuff, which we will do in the next episode. That's going to be it for this one. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.